connected, be informed, and stay involved. Now, February, here we are at the end of February, the shortest month of the year. And this is the month that we celebrate Black History Month. I celebrate my Black history all year long. I share with my family and community about what has happened over the years with those I meet. I watch a lot of Black history programs being made on TV, and I'm real excited about those things, and on other media like social media and uh, radio. Okay, and I celebrate people who are doing well and who are giving back to the Saginaw community. They are really truly appreciated. Now, on today's at my church today, this is what I want to talk about. We recognize the contributions of Carl Williams, who was a former city council member, former state representative, Sunday school teacher at Greater Williams Temple, vice president and chair of the Political Action Committee with the Saginaw NAACP, and he is on the Saginaw Valley State Board of Control, okay, among other very important positions here in Saginaw. So that is history here in Saginaw, Black history, and we hope that you will celebrate with those that you know who are doing good things in the community and keep them in mind all year long. Also, the mayor, Brenda Moore, was here, the mayor of Saginaw. She was in attendance at Tabernacle. I am proud to be a kinfolk to Carl Williams. I want to be transparent. And he is part of my Black History 365. Also receiving recognition with all of the members in our church. Part of history. And I'm not bragging on Tabernacle, but we're going to be 95 years old this year. So that is history that we have that history, and we're going to celebrate it. So look forward to the information. So I will, and so if you will, continue to celebrate our Black history every day. It's real, whatever it is. Now, you remember on last week, I had members of the Alpha Kappa Alpha sorority on this program, and they gave us just a little bit of information about what they are doing. I have back with me, but here in the studio, I have the vice president of the Alpha Kappa Alpha sorority, and she is Omi Smith, and she is here with one of the head of the organizations that received a grant or a fund. Are you calling it a grant?
Fundraiser donation.
Fundraiser donation. Okay. And there were 4 others. And I also have on the phone, I have the president of the Alpha Kappa Alpha, AKAs, Alpha Kappa Alpha sorority. I have the president, Kimberly Horn. Kimberly, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you. Thank you for joining us again here on Community Connections. You have with you Miss Clark from
yes, on the line as well.
On the line as well. Okay. Good afternoon to you. And she is from the Emmaus House, and that organization received a donation from the AKAs, and along with the Sickle Cell Foundation, from where Ben Frazier is. Tell me your title again. Coordinator. Services coordinator. I always want to make you the executive director, but services coordinator. And there were 2 other organizations that received a donation. So, Miss Kimberly, as president, will you please tell us about the other 2 organizations that received funds, and then we're going to go in and talk about how your organization put this together, and why these nonprofit organizations receive the funds.
Sure. Well, again, Ms. Harvin, thank you for having us on to represent our sorority. We are a community service organization, as we talked about last week. The additional organizations that were awarded the fundraising money to help with their operations of their organizations were the Holton Jones Neighborhood Association. The executive director is Pastor Willie Casey,
Mm-hmm.
and then the other organization was the Saginaw Community Action Center, and that director is Minister Hurley Coleman III. And so these organizations were chosen because of how they just simply help the community. Of course, with the Holton Jones Neighborhood Organization, they've been in existence since 1992, providing help and services to neighbors within that neighborhood. There's a community garden. They have a sewing circle for their young people and countless of other programs. And of course, with the Saginaw CAC, similar types of activities. They help people with their roofs and gutters and paying bills. And they have a food bank where they help over 6,000 people. And so those community services align to the tenets of our community service to be of service to all mankind.
Mm-hmm. All right. Now, the new word that is floated around and what people who work hard and give services back, they're called essential workers. How did they fall into that category for you?
Well, they're definitely essential workers because they help people on the front lines who are battling problems day in and day out. For example, they help the elderly and disabled with the home repair, and that would be the Saginaw Community Action Center. They help people with Medicare assistance, consumer energy bills. There's summer programs and after-school programs. There's, a leadership exploration development program that they have. So they're helping people on the front lines, to me, that deal with day-to-day problems. Now, we did last year for our Martin Luther King Day Community Day of Service actually help people who were on the front lines from a medical perspective when we were in the throes of the COVID-19 pandemic, and those that were providing health care. So I know typically we think of those workers as frontline workers, but these organizations help people day in, day out who are just battling day-to-day problems to survive. So if we could extend that definition a little bit further, I consider them this a frontline assistance.
Excellent, excellent, excellent. There are a few other areas and groups of people that don't get any recognition. And I'm so happy to know that you guys felt like these were essential workers, or understand that, it's just not the health field that are essential workers, but we also have people in the community who continue to give. So your support is appreciated, for them. Please tell us about, I want you to tell us about the Emmaus House. A lot of people don't hear about Emmaus House. We'd like you to talk about that, Sister Armin.
I think I will turn that over to Miss Donna Clark. She gave us a very great synopsis the other night. We had a donation presentation by Zoom, and she gave an awesome awareness for some of us that didn't know as much as we thought we knew about Emmaus House. So, Miss Clark, would you answer that question for us, please?
Absolutely. Thank you
Ms.
so
Clark,
much for having me today.
Ms. Clark.
Good afternoon. Yes.
Good afternoon. I just want to say welcome to Community Connections. This is a community-oriented show, and we welcome you for the first time being on the show.
Well, thank you so very much for having me. First, let me say, Emmaus House is a home for women, but it is a sober living transitional home for women coming from jail, prison, or rehab. It was originally created back in 1987 by Sister Marietta Fritz to stop the revolving door of women going to jail and coming right back out and having nowhere to go and getting messed in the streets and drugs and crime. And so that's why it was originally created, which we still have that in place, but we've kind of restructured it to be focused around substance abuse and reentry. So we have life skills, we have groups, we have substance abuse therapy, we have recovery coaches. We support the women well and get out and live independently. And it's just an amazing, beautiful program, but it's so necessary today. We work firsthand with First Ward and women of color, and we're empowering these women to get their lives together and to be successful and to ultimately stay off drugs and be happy. It's just an honor to work with women such as yourselves, because these women have been broken and they need to be empowered, and they see in you, they see mentors and people they want to be like. And it's just, it's really great. And I want to thank Alpha Kappa Alpha for the amazing donation, because we run strictly on donations and grants, and it's going to help us this year tremendously. So thank you so very much.
Very good. Excellent program. And with Emmaus House, there are some programs that benefit the whole community and not just those who are living within the residence halls there.
Yes, we have a Moro Center, and it is a thrift store, but everything in it is free. So we pick up donations, and we have donations dropped off 5 days a week. And our community that surrounds Emmaus House, because it is a rather crime-ridden and poverty area, the whole community shops there for free. We provide food from Hidden Harvest for the public and free furniture, beds, couches, tables to the community. All they have to do is call us, tell us what they need, and we provide that for them. So we give back. We teach our ladies to give back to the community, because what's given to them for free, it teaches them that happiness and joy comes from giving back and helping people. And we have such a success rate this year. I have to tell you, we have over 60% of our women a year or more clean off of drugs and alcohol. And it's just a really amazing thing to watch these women get confidence and hope back again in their life.
That's very good. That's an excellent program. Excellent program.
Thank you.
You guys are doing a great work there for the ladies. Usually there are programs for men that have those type of conditions and need that type of help. But it was great to find out about the Emmaus House. So
thank you.
So happy that you received that donation. Thank you, AKAs. You guys have it on the ball, reaching out, reaching into those tough places, and helping to lift people up. Would you also tell us about the Saginaw Sickle Cell Foundation of Saginaw? Ben?
Yes. Thank you for having me. I appreciate an opportunity to promote awareness anytime we get an opportunity to. It's outstanding for us. We are the Sickle Cell Disease Association of America, Michigan chapter.
Okay.
I covered two of the large areas, Saginaw County and Genesee County. Our headquarters is located in Detroit. However, each county has like a satellite office to address the needs of families affected by sickle cell disease. And for so many who do not know, it is an inherited blood disease. In order to get sickle cell, you have to have parents with the trait. And it's so rewarding for us to get a chance to promote awareness, have people understand that, and get tested. Many of us, without having a sick child, don't realize their trait status.
Right.
And it's something that we look for an opportunity to promote and encourage people to get tested, know your trait status.
Let me ask you this question. Doctors' offices, physicians, do they not encourage African Americans to get a test strictly for sickle cell, or have it included, in a blood draw?
I'm sure that there are many who do, but we need all of them to do that. Currently, we have what we call newborn screening, and that's been in place since 1987. Anytime a child is born here in Michigan, they're automatically tested within the first 24 hours of birth for their trait status and to determine if they have a trait or sickle cell disease. And that's something that we're very proud about. It took years and years of fighting to have that put in place. But if you were born before 1987, you may not know your trait status. And that's a blood test, a simple blood test that you have to request. It's not the same as a regular blood test that you would receive if you were going for a routine checkup. It's something more that they have to do with the blood to determine. So you have to request it. You just simply make an appointment with your physician, ask them to test you for sickle cell trait.
What are some of the symptoms that people would look for so they could think to tell the doctor or their physician to please give me this test?
There are no symptoms per se for the carrier of the trait. If you have the disease, you will undoubtedly know, because there's episodes of what they call pain crisis, episodes where you will be in excruciating pain. You will have many difficulties over time, and a lot of individuals endure it in silence. And that's a lot to do with how they're treated in ER. At various hospitals, they become labeled as drug seekers. And so we have to dispel that. And there are a lot of other myths. For example, many believe it is just a Black folks disease.
Okay, right.
And I will say that it is not exclusive to Black people. It's predominantly people of color affected by this disease simply because of its origins. It is a blood mutation that occurred back in biblical times in response to malaria. And when you think of malaria, you think of the mosquito. And the climate that mosquitoes thrive in just so happened to be where Black people originally come from. Right. Hot, moist. Yes. So we have to dispel that. But anyone of Mediterranean descent could have sickle cell disease. So that includes Greek, Indian, South American. Right. Yes.
How did you find out about the AKAs and that they had a program like this where they were raising funds to give back to certain organizations, or only did you guys pick from the organization? Did they have to apply for it? Did they meet requirements? Certain requirements?
We actually contacted him.
Okay.
So that's why that's why he's extremely shocked and gracious. And Houghton Jones Association is not on today, but they also, as you said, and as President Horn stated, will also receive a donation from us. But as a sorority, we suggested that from the funds that we raised in the fall, that we would give back to the community. Okay. We wanted to do it in an impactful way. And as you said, to organizations that we felt sometimes go unnoticed, but that we have noticed. And we know that personally, that they all are doing an amazing work in the community.
Yes.
So we asked the sorority members if they would, by poll, by a survey, list organizations they felt were deserving of these funds and why. They each had to give synopsis of the reason why, what they were doing in the community. And may I say, there were so many various worthy organizations, but we chose the top 4, and these were the top 4 organizations.
These were the top 4.
And then from that, we had a discussion, we voted, and we contacted them to receive the funds.
Okay, now, as a national organization, I was looking on your website, and it says that your programs are exemplifying excellence through sustainable service. Explain that.
That means for us that, as we said last week, this is not a one-time thing for us. We do it year-round, right? 365 days a year. There have been times where organizations have, as you said, contacted us. And at that time, if we're able, we do what we can do for that particular organization. But it's not just the organizations that we try to be impactful to, but we also try to show our youth, whether it's a need in the homeless or our churches, even our sorority sisters. We also help them if they're in need as well. So to us, sustainable means constant. It doesn't mean a one-time done deal. We are service to mankind 365 days a year.
Your sorority sisters, Madam President, your sorority had to do some digging to understand the need of these 4 organizations in the community. Would you please give us the names of just some of the people, your officers, and some of the ladies who are a member of your chapter?
Oh, sure. Of course, myself and Vice President
Yes.
Omi Smith. Our second Vice President is Tiffany Frazier. Our treasurer is Mrs. Marcia Thomas. Our community, Connections and Social Action chairperson is Ms. Lisa Coney. Our parliamentarian is Dr. Rosalind McQueen. We're over 95 strong. Our member at large is Mrs. Stacy Davis Diggs. So also our secretary is Mrs. Angel Miller Burrell. So we're quite impactful and well represented in all different areas and disciplines. Some are educators, some are in corporate America, some are in city government, state government. So we're quite the wide variety of organizations represented throughout the Saginaw community.
Okay, that's very good. I asked Sister Omi to make sure that she includes one name that's right here at KISS 107, and that is Page B.
Page B, our own Page B.
Our own Page B.
Yeah.
Yes,
Very,
we're
very
extremely proud of her.
Young lady. Yes.
Yes.
Okay, now, so that was like maybe 10 or 15 of the 95 that are in this chapter. That's a huge chapter.
It is. Well, we recently had 23 new sorors come on to be with us in November. So we're blessed to have them as well. And I know you said that we had to research, but a lot of these organizations that we recommended, we have personal ties to. I personally know Sister Joyce, Reverend Joyce Redburn, whose daughter is a good friend of my son, so was. And I also personally now have a student that has sickle cell. So it's dear to my heart this year to do something. It's just remembering children like him. And also, we also have a few children at our church that has it as well. So as he said, it's not an uncommon disease, but sometimes it's overlooked. And my family personally has made donations to the Mayor's House. And I got to hear and see firsthand the free store that they have where the community can just go and get what they need. And I just thought that was awesome.
Very good program. Very good program. There's a lot more that can be done for a Emmaus House and for sickle cell.
Absolutely.
And CAC. Tell us how CAC and Houghton Jones, all of their programs that they have. I know we know a little bit about CAC. Okay. Mr. Casey, President Casey. Okay, good friend of mine. I know his sister, and he's been on the show as well. Tell me what got first word on my mind. CAC, what new programs that they have, how they will use their money.
Well, one of the things that Minister Hurley Coleman mentioned to us, we had our virtual presentation, as Vice President Omi Smith mentioned. And there are a plethora of things that they do. They've got a wide breadth of activities that they have. And so what impressed me was the 6,000 food assistance and food pantry activities that they do, because we know that hunger is a big problem in the United States, not just in third world countries. So that was very impressive. And so he told us that the donation that we gave will help fund that activity. Among others, they've got an urban gardening program, which is very educational, as well as helping people eat healthy and by growing nutritious foods in the gardens, so that people kind of shy away from processed foods but eat healthy, fresh fruits and vegetables. the helping of the repairing of the homes for the elderly. Sometimes they get overlooked, helping to pay the bills. But I think the main thing that he emphasized during our virtual presentation was helping to be a food pantry, helping to fund that activity rather for the food pantry, and hopefully increase those numbers from 6,000 to even higher.
Very good. Very good. I got it mixed up with Casey. President Casey is over at Houghton Jones. Right.
Houghton Jones. He's Houghton Jones.
Yes. Tell us about Houghton Jones projects that they also have a garden, community garden.
They do.
There.
They have a garden, and they also have a tutoring program that I have been affiliated with in the past, and it's a great program. I did it in the summer to help out, and I was really impressed of how many children go through that program.
Mm-hmm.
I had no idea that many children were touched by that program, and that was a blessing to me to be a part of it one summer. They do clean out a lot of the lots in the area because Saginaw has a lot of blight.
Yes.
And that's a blessing for them to just take it upon themselves to do for the city of Saginaw. As you said, they do have the urban garden, and a lot of people in the community, I've noticed as well, are benefiting from that. And they have a sewing class.
They have a sewing class.
Yes.
All right.
We were really glad to hear that.
That's
because
good.
one of our targets is our global impact target. And in that particular target, we are asking for help in sewing shirts for boys and dresses for girls out of pillowcases. And we send those over to Haiti or Africa as part of our global impact. As I said, 365 days a year, we're doing something. So if anybody has that skill and would like to help out, please contact me. But yes, so we did tell Pastor Casey we would be in touch with them.
Now, where are you sending
We're sending
the
them
dresses?
We're sending them to Haiti and to Africa.
In Africa.
And we also are collecting shoes as well, any gently worn shoes. And we also collect eyeglasses, but they are given to the local Lions Club here in Saginaw.
And this goes on all year long that you
Yes.
are collecting and
Yes.
sending items
Yes,
out. That is wonderful.
Yes.
That's good. That keeps you guys busy.
very.
Very. My goodness. Okay. But you have 95 people there to help you.
Yes, and they're all willing to help, but we could always use more help.
Always use me.
Okay. All right. So what is let me go back to this. Let me go back to my original questions that I had for you. What is next for the AKAs? What's coming up? And we have one more date for Black History Month, which is tomorrow. That'll be 28th. How have you celebrated Black History Month, and what are you going to do to celebrate it all year long? Madam President?
Well, I'll take the first one, their first question first. What's coming up for us? We are uber excited about our 60th anniversary of our chapter's chartering. We were chartered in the city of Saginaw in 1962, and so this year is our 60th milestone year. And so we're happy to announce that we'll have our 38th annual Hats Off to Mom Scholarship and 60th Founders Day celebration on May 7th. It will be virtual. We endeavor to continue this legacy of impacting the Saginaw community through scholarships and community service. Over the past 60 years, we've given over $200,000 in scholarships and community service programs, and we want to continue that legacy. So that is what that entire thrust is about. So that is the major event that we have coming up next May 7th. And so we want everyone to mark their calendars. It will be virtual. And just for a $60 investment, you can help a child further their education, or you can help one of these wonderful organizations that are being highlighted here today be served. So that is our next major event.
That's your next major event, celebrating that 60th anniversary.
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
And then the
May 7th.
Hats Off to Mom is what year?
The 38th annual Hats Off to Mom
30th.
Scholarship.
Okay.
Yeah. And then 60 years of our chapter being in existence in Saginaw.
How do you measure the impact? How do you measure the impact? Do you initially look at how many people that are being serviced in Saginaw County? And you're serving all of Saginaw County, right? Do you
Yes, we are.
initially look at the number of people who need the actual help in the community? How do you measure your success? How do you go back and keep them accountable for, what you have been given, and how has it made Saginaw better?
I can speak on the scholarship portion of that. As Principal Horn just stated, our Hats Off to Mom program is a scholarship program. We're raising money to give back to the students in the community that are pursuing college. And there are several scholarships available for them to apply for. We see students that are within our Idolet Youth Group that our chapter sponsors. We have, I think, 3 graduating this year. We also service, as you said, students in the Saginaw area. We hear from those students occasionally, whether it's by a card saying thank you, an email. We might see them personally, whether it's within our churches or other events. Some of them even come back to attend our events. Some of them even volunteer at events that we may have. And we sometimes are invited to their open houses, or whether it's graduation at high school or basketball games I'm playing on Saturday. They might invite us to show up, and we try to support them in all ways. So we hear from them in ways that we sometimes are surprised to hear from. So we know we're making an impact in their lives, and they haven't forgotten that we have invested in their lives. So as President Horn said, the $60 that we're asking for the tickets are an investment, not only in our children, but in the community, because a lot of them come back to the community to give back, whether it's to live and to work or just to volunteer. Some of those students are now also, the female students, it's not just open to females, but males as well. So some of those students now are our sorority sisters. So they've seen something in us along the way to want to be a part of us. And for that, we're grateful and blessed. The community as a whole, we, as you're doing today, we get opportunities that come our way to highlight us or to thank us. And for that, we know then, okay, sometimes it gets a little rough. But we know when today's like today happened, and we're like, okay, we must be doing something impactful. So we're just going to keep doing what we're doing, even if we only help one person or one organization.
Right. Ben, you wanted to say something?
I just wanted to add how thankful we are, grateful for the AKA's donation. And I also want to encourage everyone out there, because our people who suffer from sickle cell disease oftentimes need blood transfusions. The blood supply is not diversified enough. We as a community of people of color don't like to give blood.
Right.
And I would encourage everyone out there, if you can, donate at least once a year. You'd be surprised at how far that contribution of blood goes.
Makes a difference.
Very much so. And we really would encourage the community at large to please donate blood at least once a year.
So you're telling us we need to do a blood drive.
You need to do it.
Yes.
Yes. Blood drive. Yes, because the blood supply is short right now as well.
It is.
And we really need to increase the numbers and have people be mindful of it, aware of it. It makes a big difference,
It really
especially
does.
for our sickle cell population.
There's some new medication that's out for sickle cell.
There are a variety of medications out there. Yes.
There was something new that came across my desk.
Oxbryta, Andari, hydroxyurea has been around for a while.
Okay.
So we have a number of, and each person is different. What works for you might not work for me, but we do have a number of options, and we continue to promote awareness, research, and hopefully someday we will have a universal cure.
That notice, that ad that I saw, it was in print. I haven't seen anything on television. You know, like they tell you to ask your doctor about this. They need to put that on television. That it's a sickle cell medication, so that more people will ask for that medication. Okay.
Yeah.
So we need to kick
If I
that
could
up.
just interject one
We're
thing,
working.
our undergraduate chapter did do a sickle cell, not a sickle cell drive, but blood donations last year. So they participated in those activities. So it wasn't specifically for sickle cell, but they did help with the whole blood drive activity. So maybe we could target those in 2022 towards this in terms of the blood donations.
Absolutely. Every little bit helps.
Every little bit helps. Now tell me about how you have celebrated within your organization and personally celebrated Black History Month this month. And how are you going to continue that on for another 365 days?
Well, it wasn't necessarily Black History Month, but as I said, we have impact days we do throughout the year. And we did Dr. MLK Day. And we collaborated with the undergraduate chapter, the MUFI chapter at Saginaw Valley State University here in Saginaw. And we gave caps, gloves, and coats to students at Stone Elementary here in the Saginaw Public School District.
Very good.
So that was really nice to see the faces light up and how excited they were, even the principal and the teachers. So that was a great moment for us. And to collaborate with the undergraduate chapter was really exciting as well. We also, President Horn, you want to chime in? We also, I'm thinking, my classroom.
Yeah, you are an educator.
Let me
Tell
tell
them
you,
where you work.
I was actually teased today at church. We had the Red Heart Day, so we wore red.
Yes.
So
yes.
you know, my DST sisters teased me because I look so cute in my red today. So I told them I'm having Swag Magazine come over. The owner, the director.
Yes.
Julian
Morris.
He's coming over, and so we're having the boys' shirts made, etc. So she made me a red shirt with pink swag on it. So,
all right.
So I thought that was cute, but I told her that's my Black History moment because my students do know a lot about Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated.
Very good.
And she asked me, the mother, of course, Danita, wanted to know, could she come over as DST and talk to my students? Sure, because that's Black history as well. We have to expose our students.
Absolutely.
That's one thing I try to do as a teacher, is expose my students and my children and grandchildren as well. And the sorority, as I said, as you said, tomorrow ends for the nation, but it doesn't end for us. And I think we as African Americans have to remember that it's 365 days a year, and we have to keep impacting the community.
Speaking of 365, so we haven't had like a Black history focus per se, but we do try to continually promote Black businesses and African American female-owned businesses and really women of color in businesses. And so we do have a thrust or a sub-target under our target number 3, building your financial legacy, where we promote entrepreneurs, Black entrepreneurs 365. So even though it wasn't a focus just for Black History Month, I would say that is something that we do year round according to that target. In the month of December, we did have a virtual pop-up shop on demand where we featured those businesses, and we encourage, supporting Black businesses 365. So that, coupled with the Martin Luther King Community Day of Service that Vice President Omi said, to me, is our contribution to focusing on Black history from that perspective.
Very good. Very good. Now, you also there are 5 impact areas. Okay, so each one of the local chapters have to do something in each one of these areas. Is that correct?
You're applying. You're referring to the Divine 9. Is that what you're referring?
No.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Right. No.
Yes,
I want to know.
Impact days. We have 5 impact areas.
Right.
And yes, we have each target has a chairperson and a co-chairperson, and then there's a committee. So each one has their own committee. I am being the first anti-Baptist, I am the chairperson over those chairs, and then of course President Horn. But each one plans what they want to do for that impact day.
Okay.
Or that particular target focus, and then we proceed that way.
Okay. March is Women's History Month. And so I wanted to know if you were planning anything for women's health and wellness in March for women.
Yes, we are, and we are about to co-host the NAACP March Community Day, and that is exactly our focus is women's health. And so I believe President Terry Pruitt might have been on the radio this past Friday or this Friday coming up to promote that. And so Vice President Omi Smith is in charge of that and has been coordinating that activity. And we are very, very excited. You'll see a flyer come out soon on our Facebook page. The theme there is Women United in Self-Care with 2 hashtags, self-care isn't selfish, and sis, are you good? Because we know a lot of times as women, we're nurturers, we take care of everybody in the family, whether we have our own biological children or not. And so that is going to be an exciting program where we will feature, actually, I'll let Sora Omi introduce who's going to be on there because someone is related to her and near and dear to her heart.
Oh, put me on the spot. Okay. We will have one of our sorority sisters, Rakia, Rakia Banks. Rakia is a traveling nurse. She sees every day, frontline, what is going on, what is COVID related or not. We also have Miss Vanessa Guerrera. I know you're familiar with her.
Yes.
She's going to be with us to talk to us on a political stance. We have Dr. Marche Smith, which is dear to my heart.
Yes.
Marche is a pediatrician in Atlanta.
Wonderful.
And we have, what am I forgetting?
Dana Simmons.
I'm sorry.
Dana Simmons, clinical liaison.
I'm sorry, Dana Simmons. Dana Simmons is a clinical liaison, and she deals firsthand with mental health. We know that mental health is on the rise. We see it every day, whether it's suicide or whether it's depression or do I take the medication? Do I not take the medication? And as President Horn said, one of our hashtags, it just lets us know that self-care is not selfish. A lot of times we as African Americans don't want to discuss mental health, and we don't want to call depression or anxiety or whatever mental health, but it is. Sometimes it's a reason that we don't get help, whether it's insurance or embarrassment or don't want to talk about it or don't feel comfortable talking about it, don't know who to talk to, etc. So we thought these 4 ladies would have been Women's Health Month would be, they all have Saginaw ties, they both care about the community, and we thought they could enlighten us in some areas and give us maybe the help that some of us need but won't ask for.
That's right. We deny our own selves that.
Exactly.
And that's a really big issue. One of the things that I have asked, if you have a psychological evaluation, does that mean, do they put that on your records and show that you have asked for this or you've had this evaluation? And what impact does that have on you if someone is looking at your records?
So if you attend next Sunday at 3:00, NAACP, I will have that question answered for you.
I would like that. I would like that. Because I'd like to know how it, impacts your records. Everyone looks at your record. Some employers look at your record.
Exactly.
And so how does that impact,
Good question.
an individual? So it's just, some people don't want to be looked at as crazy.
Or labeled.
Labeled crazy. Okay.
Exactly.
And so they will not ask the questions, ask for help, go back for help, take their medications, all of that.
Exactly.
And so that information, it's going to be very good. I'm looking forward to that.
Thank you.
I'm looking forward to that.
I think one of the things, though, that has helped to say that it is okay, if we think about the Olympic Games this past summer.
Oh, yeah.
There was an Olympic gymnast, Simone Biles.
Yes.
And I thought that was very courageous of her to come out on an international stage and say, I'm not okay. And, she made it okay for others to say that. And then there was the tennis champion from Japan. She said the same thing. And
That's
then
right.
others felt more comfortable.
That's right.
So I think when people, on that national or international scale say, hey, I need to take some me time. I need to get my mental health together. And they're on that scale. It makes it comfortable or okay for others to say that as well. So I think those events help others feel more comfortable, just being truthful to themselves so that they can get some help and get to the better.
Very
place.
good. Very good.
That is one of the things, Joyce, that our sorority is trying to do within the sorority. We're checking on each other more. We're just calling someone and saying, "Are you okay?" For our elderly sorors, we may send them a card or call them to check. Do you need anything? Do you need groceries? Do you need to go to a doctor's appointment? What can we do for you? We haven't forgotten you. Because a lot of them, as you said, right now, a lot of people are still not getting out. So we have to go in to check on them.
Right.
And so we've made that as one of our goals, just our personal
Excellent.
sorority goals, to check on each other.
Excellent. Excellent. That's sisterhood.
Exactly. Sisterhood. True sisterhood.
Yes. Yes. I really like that. There's one other topic I want to get to. The women. What do you think about the president's not appointment yet, but his nominating the I'm sorry, I forgot her name, but nominating a Black woman for the Supreme Court? Your thoughts, Madam President, your thoughts first.
I think we're in an awesome time. The candidate, Judge Ketanji Brown Jackson, comes with a long, very impressive academic and professional resume.
Yes.
And I think it's awesome that the Lord has favored us and he's blessed us. We stand on the shoulders of hundreds of great women of all races who have paved the way for us today. But since we're talking about Black History Month, we can just go down through the historical list, from Harriet Tubman to Sojourner Truth to Mary McLeod Bethune to Rosa Parks to Barbara Jordan to Patricia Harris.
All right.
To the three ladies who are also Alpha Kappa Alpha women who were featured in Hidden Figures: Dorothy Vaughan, Mary Jackson, Catherine Goebel, to Shirley Chisholm, to Stacey Abrams, to Keisha Lance Bottoms, and of course, our soror, Madam Vice President Kamala Harris, and now Judge Ketanji Brown Jackson. I mean, my mouth is just dropping open, and I'm beaming with pride, not from a cocky way or anything like that, but it's just the Lord has just favored us.
Yes,
so
won't He do it?
I think that we're just on an awesome platform right now to just make history, and I am just godly proud.
Sister Army.
What more can I say? I'm about to shout right Minister Horn, I'm about to shout right now. So.
Yes.
Yes. As she was saying those names, I was thinking about the Black history that I tried to teach my children. It's not in the curriculum. I just throw it in, whether they're eating breakfast, right after lunch to calm them down from recess or whatever the case may be, and they love it. And one of the things that I'm doing to surprise my students is, as you said, the boys are getting their swag shirts. He's coming. They know about that. They don't know they're getting shirts. They just know he's coming. And but they have to see themselves in others. And as Principal Horn just said, as she named those ladies, all I could think of, we're standing on the shoulders, as she said. But what are we going to do with that? One of the things I'm doing for my girls, my students, female students, is that they're going to get shirts, and their shirts are going to say, "My VP looks like me." Whether that means me or Kamala Harris, and they're getting pearls, and they know what the pearls mean, of course.
Yes.
But I just want to let them know, a lot of students that I have, I don't think they have the hope that they can someday be a Kamala Harris or etc. So for him to make this appointment, and for me to go in tomorrow to share that with my students that probably haven't heard anything about it, most of them, then I just found that, as she said, I just go in with my chest stuck out, no matter who I do it in front of, and whether it's a Caucasian coworker or whoever the case may be, it's history.
Yes.
And for that, as she said, God has favored us, and we're blessed.
Yes. I know you guys are still reeling and rocking on the vice presidential.
Oh, yes. We have our chucks and pearls. Yes, we do.
I just thought that was wonderful. I could see you guys just.
Yes. But not only us, Joyce, I see the Divine Nine.
Yes.
And their families, and even the males. I mean, I think about not only the Divine Nine, whether you're Greek or not, you just have to appreciate it.
Oh, yes. Absolutely. Absolutely. Every time I see her stepping out and talking, it's just,
yes.
Boy, really happy for that. Really happy.
Yes.
As happy as I was for President Obama.
Oh, yes.
I just loved it.
Definitely.
Absolutely loved it. So what I want to ask you, Stormy, with all the laws that or legislation that is trying to be passed, where we cannot teach our kids in school, when teachers can't teach about Black history, what's going to happen with that? What do you feel about that?
It doesn't bother me because I do it anyway.
Okay.
And those that know me know that I do. It's never been a problem because as long as I'm teaching the curriculum I should be teaching,
Mm-hmm.
and then I have time to throw it in, I will. And as I said earlier, it's not just February. Of course,
Right.
we recognize and let the students know that the nation has recognized or given us February, but we let them know it's 365 days a year. I have found students that if we're doing read works on the computer or whatever, and I give them a few minutes, they do it on their own.
Very good.
Yeah.
Very
So if
good.
they, and a lot of times they will ask the question, and then that's my opportunity.
Okay. This is a fast hour. It is time for us to get going out of here for the next show.
Yeah.
I want to say thank you to all my guests, President Horn, Donna Clark from Emmaus House, the Vice President Omi, I'll call you Sister Omi, you
That's
know.
fine.
Vice President Omi Smith and Ben Frazier for being my great guests today. You are all great guests right here on Community Connections. And I want to thank you for being here and thank you for being connected and doing what you do in the community. Okay.
Thank you.
I really
Thank you.
appreciate each and every organization, especially the AKAs, and what you're doing to help make a meaningful impact on this community.
And thank you for having us. And thank you for what you're doing in the community.
Oh, you're
It is
welcome.
not unnoticed. And we thank you and God bless you.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Tune in next
Thank you
week.
for this
I'll be right
opportunity.
here at 5:00 for Community Connections. Have a good evening.
You've been listening to Community Connections with Joyce Harvin on KISS 107.1. The views and opinions expressed on Community Connections by the host, its guests, or call-ins do not necessarily represent the opinion of this station, the staff, its owners, Alpha Media USA.